History and mythology are littered with guys that have grown iconic beards. So iconic, in fact, that when you say their name, you can picture their beard style. Think like Abraham Lincoln, Ernest Hemingway, Robert Downey Jr. And being a bit of a beard enthusiast, I recognize most of these names and can associate them with the shapes that people are asking for. But one name people have been asking for a lot lately, I don't recognize at all. Kratos. Honestly, who the hell is Kratos? I'm gonna have to go do some research on this one.
All right, just open the old Google machine here, and Kratos. What the I mean, impressive beard. Damn, that's thick. And it's a great shape, but he's not real. Oh well, let's give it a try.
Okay, first of all, he's animated, so that's gonna be a bit of a problem. But I really like you guys. So I'm going to do my best to try and recreate the Kratos beard on one of my clients in my shop today. And I'm going to teach you all the steps and tips and tricks I would use to get there so you can recreate it yourself at home. Let's get into it.
My name is Matty Conrad. I've been a professional barber for over 27 years, and in that time, I've built a number of barbershops and started a brand called Victory Barber and Brand. I spend most of my time traveling around the world teaching other barbers all my tips and tricks on how they can be better barbers. Now, I've been featured in a number of magazines, but more recently I've been showing up as a grooming expert on GQ's YouTube page. Collectively, that series has over 25 million views. So that inspired me to start my own YouTube page so I could answer some of your most burning questions and share with you guys my best tips and tricks to take your grooming to the next level. So here they are.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Matty Conrad, and as you probably guessed it, I'm not a huge video game guy. So when I saw the name Kratos popping up over and over and over in the requests, I had no idea what you guys were talking about. So I did my research and I found out that he was the main character in a video game called God of War. Working with animated people is a little tricky because they're not bound by things like physics. Most guys probably don't grow a beard anywhere near as thick as they have animated his beard to be. Now the funny thing is that he doesn't always have the same beard shape. When you look at a lot of the animations or the drawings that you can find on Google, you'll realize that there's quite a lot of variety in what people think is the Kratos beard. That's either a real problem with continuity or it's absolutely amazing. Everybody is going to go through different periods with their beards. Sometimes it's going to look a little shorter. Sometimes it's going to be a little longer. He might have got a bad beard trim or he might have burned it off with fire. I don't know, but it's either a continuity issue or it's so incredibly authentic that it's almost genius. I'm going to go with option 2 on that one. Either way, the most common shape that I found, the one that came up the most, was this one. And that is what we call a ducktail beard. As it turns out, a lot of guys in my DMs have also been asking for ducktail beards. So this video might actually kill 2 birds with 1 stone because I'm really trying to answer all of the questions that you guys have and give you videos and advice on the things that you're asking for. So if you are wanting to learn something new, make sure you leave a comment below on what videos you want to see, and chances are I'll be making one for you. But let's get on with the Kratos beard. Ducktail beard has a bit of a sloping shape down towards the center, so it's kind of pointed at the bottom. And that is actually a really complimentary shape for his face shape and for his head shape. I mean, he doesn't wear any hair. I can't tell if he's bald or if he shaves his head, but regardless, when he has a bit of a rounder shaped head, that can actually be very flattering. It gives a little bit more elongation. And so I am going to try and recreate that beard shape today on my client, Raheem. Now, Raheem is a buddy of mine and he is an absolute legend. So when he sat down, I showed him this picture as my inspiration. And the first thing he said to me is, "I'm not shaving my head." Fair enough. We've been growing his hair out. He has an amazing head of hair. And you know what? I think we can probably get away without having to shave the head. But when I showed him the beard shape, he really liked it. He just asked me one small, tiny favor. Can you just leave it a little longer than that? And here's the beautiful thing about a ducktail beard is that you can leave it longer than that. So I'm gonna leave it just a tiny bit longer as per his request, because remember guys, these are my clients that I'm doing and they're giving me their time to let me demonstrate for you guys how to do some of these things. So I do have to collaborate with them a little bit, and I don't actually mind leaving this shape just a little bit longer because I think it looks really good with just a little length. But all of the steps that I'm gonna do today to demonstrate this beard shape for you are exactly what I would do even if I was wearing that beard just a little bit shorter. So let's get started.
Step 1. Reset the beard with a hot towel. All right, guys, I can't really stress to you enough how important prep is to beard trimming. Now, if you've seen one of my videos before, you know I usually wash my beard before I do the trimming, but when I'm in my shop, that can get a little awkward at the sink, so I really just wrap a hot towel around their face for about 60 seconds. 60 seconds is long enough for the heat and moisture to get into the hair and soften it, and it just gets the hair back into its natural state. While we're waiting for that to happen, let's go over the tools I'm going to use today. I just got this really great set from Wahl, so today I'm going to be using the Wahl Vanish 5-star shaver, the Wahl 5-star gold magic clip, and the Wahl 5-star cordless detailer. I'm also going to be using my ARC Paragon scissors, my Victory Barber brand beard brush, and my YS Park Denman brush. And I'll leave all the links for my tools in the description below. So now it's been sitting on there for about 60 seconds. That should be long enough for the beard to just kind of reset a little bit. You can see it's a little softer, a little less wiry feeling. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start to detangle. I'm going to grab a nice clean pick out of the drawer and I'm going to detangle his beard. Now, I love using a really wide tooth pick for this. It puts very little tension on the beard, and I really do just want to coax it out into a natural shape. So I'm going to be drawing kind of out towards the corners and down. I'm not going to be drawing this straight down like I would for a square shaped beard. I really want to fluff this out a little. Step 2, blow drying. Now this is also part of prep, so I'm going to take my Dyson blow dryer and my Denman brush, and I am going to dry his beard, and I'm going to try and straighten it out just a little bit. This is something I like to do with beards that are a little bit longer. You know, there's a lot of different waves going in all different directions, and I'm not going to get this really super duper silky straight. I do really want to try and get this a little bit more uniform though. So I'm going to pull it kind of across the face here. You can see I'm opening up the beard so I can get some of the air in there. And then I'm going to start adding just a little bit of tension by rolling the brush through the beard, just like this. And that's going to help me get everything a little bit more kind of cleaned up and uniform, get rid of some of the kinks so that we can get a really nice strong shape. So I'm going to go all the way through the beard here and just get it to about kind of a half straight, slightly more polished up feel. This is a good time to use something like a Denman brush because the spines actually help you get a little bit of grip on the hair, and they help you straighten everything out just slightly. Step 3, rough in the outline. I'm going to grab my clipper. Let's comb this down just a little bit with a very wide tooth comb. Again, not too much tension, and I want to create a line that slopes forward diagonally down into a bit of a point. I'm going to take my clipper inverted and punch in a straight line across, sloping downwards towards the front of the chin. You can see it probably a little better from this angle, that it's more of a diagonal downward line. I want to get the general shape of the beard established before I start working on the interior. I'm going to use my clipper here because of the volume of hair that I'm trying to remove. It's a pretty bulky beard, so roughing in the shape is a good way to start. I'm going to try the other side here, and again, I'm just combing it down into its natural shape, and I'm going to create a rough-in shape along the bottom. Now, if I was doing a shorter version of this, I would move that up probably an inch, but we're going to leave it a little bit longer, so we're going to leave it down here. Now, I'm going to set really lightly the back line of the beard as well. As you see, I'm just very lightly combing this back and establishing my line. It's not straight back, it's more diagonal down and back. This is still going to keep things soft. But notice I don't put any tension on the beard before I cut it. You can see better on the other side here how I'm combing the hair slightly diagonal back and down. This is the best way to preserve some of the bulk and create a nice clean shape. You don't want to pull it straight back because then you're going to weaken the strength of this side, so just slightly down and back is all you need, and use your clipper to make a nice clean line. That's looking better. So you can see now the shape is starting to slope into the center a little bit, and now it's time to move on to step number 4. Step 4, freehand. So with the freehand, I'm going to work downwards, just cleaning up all of the flyaways and the things that are bursting out the sides. I don't want to roll inwards. I want to keep the sides of this nice and square. And so I'm going to create nice flat panels all the way forward, making sure I maintain that corner, that little diagonal corner shape that we have there. We really want the beard to look pointed. I'm going to angle the clipper at about 45 degrees to create a softer angle into the chin. This is going to help me reduce the squareness of the shape and collapse the corners inwards towards the point at the chin. You can see from this side profile here, I'm going at about a 45-degree angle to the beard. So I'm creating a little bit of a shorter interior and a little bit more sculpting shape around the sides. And that's just going to help me accentuate that point slightly. You can see that it's starting to give a little bit more of a slope into the center. Now, I'm not too worried about getting the shape perfectly outlined yet. I'm really working on the interior of the beard. So when I come to this other side, you can see I'm going to go down the cheeks, nice and straight, and then when I come diagonally forward at my 45-degree angle, I'm just going to be pushing a nice point into the center of the beard. Now you can start to see that there's a little bit more of a tailored shape happening, that has got a bit of a soft point into the center of the chin area.
His beard color is also giving you a bit of a clue here for the shaping.
All right, I'm just going to clean that up, make sure that's even on both sides. That's already starting to look a lot more like a ducktail. So let's clean up the hair underneath the lip and all the way down. We're just going to create a nice straight panel here, which again is not so much to erode the shape too much. It really is just to take away the flyaways and create that nice straight downslope on the beard. Now, I usually like to comb through and get everything that's sticking out. I don't want to push in too tight. I really do want to try and maintain a really strong chin area for this beard, so don't go too crazy in that area. All right, let's get the blow dryer and we can get all the shrapnel off here so I can see the baseline a little better.
Step 5, refining the outline.
Okay, so I'm going to take my trimmer here and I'm going to start creating my angles. You can see the bottom of the beard has got a really strong slope and I want to match that to the top so they have a similar slope angle. We want to keep it as high as we can. So I'm just going to take my trimmer and push down into that line until it's nice and straight. Then I'm going to take it and clean up the corner of his mustache too, because I really do want that to come into a nice pronounced corner shape. Nice and angular looking, that's much better. And let's do that on the other side too. Remember, we're going to mimic that angle. We want to maintain the same angle top and bottom. So I'll just come up here and you notice I'm not bending the cheek or anything. I'm just pushing straight down with my trimmer, using the trimmer to make the clean line down into the corner, nice and straight.
Strengthen the top line of the mustache.
There we go. Then I'm going to take my trimmer and clean up the back line.
Remember, you don't want to pull the hair back. Just let it sit naturally and clean up the line.
All right, now for the baseline, I'm going to grab my scissors. I'm going to get him to tilt his head back a little bit further, and I'm going to comb the hair down so I can see all of the fine hairs that are poking out underneath. And we're going to set a line right across here, making that really strong. The further back he tilts his head, the more we're going to take a tighter drop on that shape. So I'm going to come through here with my scissors and create a really nice, clean, straight line, straight across. I might need to comb this down a couple of times just to make sure that we got everything really nice and uniform. I find a pair of scissors is a great way to do the baseline on a longer beard. So a lot of the time when I'm working on beards that are a little bit on the longer side, I will pick up my scissors instead of my trimmer. But for this one, we'll just finish it with the trimmer to make sure everything is really nice and clean and crisp. All right, let's get that other side now. I'm just gonna comb that down. And you can see here that there's just that little bit of fluff underneath, and we wanna mirror that angle that we have on top. So here we're gonna pull that down just through the fuzzy bits. I'm gonna use my scissors to create that angle. I'll just comb down, make sure we got everything, make one more pass. I want this to be as clean and strong as possible. And then I'll grab my trimmer just to clean it up and make sure everything is really nicely edged out. All right, once that's nice and clean, I'm just gonna grab my blow dryer and I'm going to just draw his mustache up. He likes to wear his mustache points pointed upwards or to the side, not so much down the way that Kratos wears his. So I'm just gonna stretch it out with my brush and my blow dryer and give it a really soft kind of bend. I'll hold the beard down, just blow it up with some hot air, and that's usually how I like to get that little kind of flared out feel to the points of the mustache. And I'll just coax the rest of it down. Make sure it's even on both sides before we start trimming it. I'm gonna take my trimmer and I'm gonna roll it outwards from the center of the lip just to clean up the hairs that are coming down over the mouth. Now, I like to wear these a little bit longer, so I usually polish them off to the side a little bit before I start shaping. And I really do just want to clean it up a little bit through the center, through the peak of the mustache, and that way I can leave the points, the outside of the mustache, a little bit longer. And while I've got my trimmer, I'm just gonna look for a few more flyaways and see if we can sharpen that up. But you can see now it's really coming down into that nice point. Step 6, shaving. This one doesn't require a lot of shaving. Most long beards don't. So I'm just gonna take my shaver and remove any hair on the cheeks and the hair behind the back line. At this point, it's looking pretty good. Look at that smile. Let's grab some Super Dry and finish things off. It's my favorite oil-free texturizing paste that I use to finish off almost every beard that sits in my chair. Just holds down the flyaways, makes things not look too shiny. But when we sit them up, yeah, that'll work. I think he likes it. There you go, guys. We have a slightly longer version of a Ducktail beard, otherwise known as the Kratos. It looks a little more like Kratos if we give him this thing. Maybe one more thing. That's better. Truly, a beard that's fit for the god of war. All right, guys, those are my best tips and tricks on how you can create a long ducktail beard, otherwise known as a Kratos beard. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got some tips and tricks that are helpful for you. Please do me a favor, click like and subscribe. Help me beat that algorithm so I can show these videos to as many people as possible. And make sure you leave your comments below and let me know what videos you guys want to see. If you feel like we didn't really get the whole shape that you were looking for today with the Kratos beard and you want to see a shorter version, leave comments below. If I get enough comments hoping to see that, I will give that beard to myself. All right? So make sure you leave those comments, you guys, and who knows, maybe in the next video, I'll be answering your questions. Until then, good luck and good grooming.